Each and every week, we get helpful tips from our friends at Cyprus Credit Union, bringing in Mr. Dave Sand. Hey, Dave, always good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. So a crazy year as people are trying to figure out back to school. And obviously when there's back to school, you start thinking about the supplies you need and school clothes and all that. But this year's going to look a whole lot different. How do you even budget for it?
Yeah, exactly. I think everything about this year is different. And the same thing with preparing for school. It may be something a lot of people haven't thought of, but if you are preparing for it properly, you have your budget, there's a lot of ways you can do that. You can make sure you're getting all the supplies you need without breaking the bank. And it does start with having a budget, sitting down and making sure you're making a good list of everything you need, everything you're going to need to get, and then budgeting appropriately for there and making sure you stick to that budget, which means you might, need to buy a different brand than you would normally want to buy if you have to get something extra. But something else you want to make sure you're looking for this year is, with a lot of the restrictions that are going to be in place to help make the schools a safer place for the kids. A lot of the items that may have been shared in the past, such as scissors or, some crayons, things like that, aren't going to be able to be shared this year. So you need to also look and factor in things you might not have had to buy in the past and account for that in your budget as well.
Gosh, I didn't even think about that. But all of those simple things, like you said, crayons, scissors, just the basics that you might have to have for your child. Now, do you think it'd be safe to say that maybe some people could wait and kind of see once the year gets started on a few things? Okay, we do need to add that item to our list.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the great things you can do if you're really wanting to get on that budget, we know the things that we buy every year, right? We're buying school clothes every year. We're buying notebooks, pencils, pens, those items that you're going to need year over year over year. Don't wait until, right before school to buy it. That's when everything's on sale, but that's also when prices might be a little higher. So watch for sales, watch for coupons, buy things throughout the year, and then that could make it less impact on your budget. Another great thing you could do as well is back to school shopping is a great time to sit down and teach your kids a little bit about finances. Taking your kids shopping with you, involving them in planning out their budget, involving them in, okay, here's our budget. If we're going to buy this, this is $5, this is $3. How's that going to affect our budget? Where are we going to make the cuts? Teaching them about how, budgets work, the value of money. And I also think, throughout the year, when they're picking up those pencils, they aren't just the pencils anymore. They're, hey, I helped buy these. I know how much they cost. Adds a little bit of value there, and teach them a little bit about that as well.
Good life lesson to be taught right here. Now, in any budget, it's never too early to start planning, right?
Nope. You always want to plan ahead. Make sure that you're sitting down, you're looking at your receipts this year, writing down exactly what we had, put them in an Excel spreadsheet or someplace you'll be able to remember so that coming up next year, you can pull that up and you can, see how much you spent, figure out if it was enough, and make sure you have that budget all set for next year as well.
Some good, helpful tips. Thank you, Dave. And if they want more information, where do they go?
Yep, CyprusU.com. We've got a great blog with tons of financial advice.
Fantastic. Dave, good to see you, and we will see you next week.
See you later.